Good afternoon. Fade to black. All right, man, I'm coming in hot today. I'm coming in hot. Fade to black breaking news for this Monday, October 23rd, 2023. I'm Jimmy Church. I want you to help support the show. You know what to do. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. They are below. You got two ways to get them. Two shirts. The links are below. All right. Running a little behind today. It's crazy. It's the first day of the week. I've got tons of stuff to do and get finished. And I've already been working for about 5 hours today. All right. So with that, I don't have any on this day in history. No. Didn't have time to do it today. Didn't even have a fader fact today. No, didn't do it. No, but I do got lots of breaking news. So let's get straight to it. 2 more hostages have been released from Hamas custody following a Qatari and Egypt mediation. The hostages are both women and Israeli citizens and were released to the Red Cross. On Friday, Hamas released 2 American hostages, Judith Ty Renan and Natalie Renan. Man, I need things to chill out over there. We all do. Check this out. The Cleveland Museum of Art is attempting to block the seizure of a headless bronze statue that U.S. investigators believe was once stolen from Turkey. In a legal challenge filed last week, the Ohio Museum says Manhattan's district attorney Alvin Bragg had provided, quote, insufficient evidence, end quote, that the artwork had ever been looted or even where it originated from. It gets deeper, though. The standing 6'4" tall statue, the bronze was long thought to originate from the ancient city of Buban in what is now Turkey. In 2012, Turkey called on several U.S. institutions, including the Cleveland Museum of Art, to return various items it believes were looted from the country during the 20th century. Investigators who value the statue at $20 million say the work dates from the late 2nd century and depicts Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Until earlier this year, a catalog listing on the museum's website appeared to concur, describing the statue as being of Roman origin and probably depicting Marcus Aurelius. Now, however, the listing simply describes the item as a, quote, draped male figure of Roman or, quote, possibly Greek origin. The website entry has also been updated to remove reference to Buban and to suggest that the object may date back as far as 150 BC. I'll leave that right there. Scientists in China are building the world's largest ghost particle detector 11,500 feet beneath the surface of the ocean. Ghost particles. That's right. Neutrinos. The Tropical Deep Sea Neutrino Telescope, it's called Trident, called Hai Ling or Ocean Bell in Chinese, will be anchored to the seabed of the Western Pacific Ocean. Upon completion in 2030, it will scan for rare flashes of light that may be elusive particles called neutrinos. Every second, about 100 billion ghost particles, neutrinos, pass through each square centimeter of your body. And yet, true to their nickname, neutrinos, ghost particles, non-existent electrical charges, and almost zero mass mean that they barely interact with other types of matter. China's gigantic new detector will consist of more than 24,000 optical sensors beaded across 1,211 strings, each 2,300 feet long. And they're going to bob upward from their anchoring point on the seabed. That is absolutely incredible. Well, this is breaking news that came out over the weekend. The moon is at least 40 million years older than we once thought. All of this, according to a new study. Scientists confirmed our cosmic companion's new minimum age after reanalyzing tiny impact crystals from lunar samples taken by NASA's Apollo 17 mission back in 1972. In a 2021 study, researchers first analyzed the lunar gems known as zircon crystals, microscopic rocks created under intense heat and pressure that, on Earth, are used to date objects such as impact craters. The lunar grains were left behind when the moon formed following a colossal collision between Earth and a Mars-sized planet named Theia. The analysis, which involved measuring the decay rate of different versions or isotopes of uranium and lead in the crystal's outer layers, revealed that the samples could be up to 4.46 billion years old. Think about that. The original 2009 study put the moon's earliest possible birth date at around 4.42 billion years old. Wow. Increased melting of West Antarctica's ice shelves is unavoidable in the coming decades, according to a new study. These floating tongues of ice extend from the main ice sheet into the ocean and play a key role in holding back the glaciers behind it. But as ice shelves melt, it can mean that the ice behind it speeds up, releasing more into the oceans. The study's findings suggest that the future sea levels rise may be greater than previously assumed. This latest study, published in the journal Nature Climate Change, is the first directly to simulate how ocean warming will affect Antarctic ice shelves in response to different levels of greenhouse gas emissions. The Antarctic ice sheet contains enough ice to raise the global sea levels by about 190 feet if it melted entirely. Check this out. There's a guy. He's a pilot. His name is Joseph D. Emerson. Off duty, he was riding as a passenger in the cockpit of an Alaska Airlines flight yesterday, and he tried to, quote, disrupt the operation of the engines, end quote, forcing the flight en route to San Francisco to divert to Portland, Oregon. Emerson was subdued by the flight crew and taken into custody by Port of Portland police officers. Emerson has been charged with 83 felony counts of attempted murder, 83 counts of reckless endangerment, and 1 count of endangering an aircraft. The pilots assigned to the flight were heard in audio recorded by liveatc.net, telling air traffic controllers the suspect, and I quote, tried to shut the engines down. The pilot said, I think he's subdued. You think? Other than that, we want law enforcement as soon as we get on the ground and are parked. Now, by subdued, that means that the flight crew, the pilot and co-pilot, beat the crap out of this guy. I haven't seen the photographs, and I can't wait. And finally, I'll leave you with this. While most of the United States and the rest of the world race to replace actual writing, with a pen, with keyboards, California has just made a law to ensure that students are taught, ready for this, how to put pen to paper. Children in 1st through the 6th grade will now be required to learn cursive handwriting after Governor Gavin Newsom has signed Assembly Bill 446 into law back on October 13th. Right. The bill turned law was introduced by Assemblywoman Sharon Quirk Silver, she's a Democrat out of Fullerton, California, who was a former public elementary school teacher before entering politics. Politics at work for our children. I can't believe this. But it's now law. The new law will require teachers to implement some instruction regarding cursive handwriting from first through the sixth grade. And the cursive handwriting instruction will now be required learning for California students, just like English, math, and social sciences. Now, I've talked about this before on the show, and I couldn't believe it when my daughters actually told me that they didn't know how to write, that they weren't teaching handwriting in school. It was like, what? It doesn't make any sense. How many historical documents around the world, including like the Declaration of Independence, for instance, that our children wouldn't be able to read? Doesn't make any sense. But now it's back in the law. And while California is the latest to add cursive back into educational standards, it's not alone. 17 states now have laws back on the books requiring cursive writing to be taught. They include Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Yeah. How many more states do we have to go? 33. That is incredible. So there you go. That's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Monday, October 23rd, 2023. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Newman. I'm Jimmy Church. Go Beckley Tepe. Oh, yeah. I want to remind everybody tonight on Fade to Black, I have Zenka Kara with us. And tonight we're going to talk about how you can contact E.T. I'll see you tonight on Fade to Black. But for now, go Beckley Tepe.